Can you show us where on the map you inserted the gap?
Well, I can't show you all because we have virtually surrounded. This morning at approximately 6 o'clock, 5 minutes after we called Mr. Snyder, we had our CEV in position. The first place we entered was here on this side of the building, which is basically on the westerly side of the building. We turned around, we came back, and we also punched a hole in here and made also an insertion. You have seen during the day, though, we have been making insertions all the way around the compound. The latest one was right through the front door. This door, as you saw by what was there, was heavily barricaded. They have been preparing for an assault for a long time. They have been barricading throughout the tower. They've been putting various reinforcements. They've been building the whole time, preparing for an assault. Yes, sir.
What's your understanding of the integrity of the building? Are you afraid that if you knock down pieces by pieces, some parts will collapse, or some structural integrity of the building?
The question is, what about the structural integrity of the building? We believe it is poorly constructed. And if we wanted to knock the building down, we probably could do it in less than an hour if we desired to do so. As you can see by the pictures, that is massive strength by that CEV. That is an extremely large, powerful vehicle. All you're seeing there being demonstrated is actually the power of the boom. You have not seen the power that can be demonstrated by the vehicle itself. Yes?
And follow up, is that the plan then, to knock down the building?
Is there a plan to knock down the building? As far as I know, there's no plan in effect at this point to knock down the building. Yes, sir.
You mentioned that you have had intelligence that that they were not planning to come out at all. Where did you get that intelligence? Did it come from Mr. Alaniz?
The question is, where does the intelligence come from? Again, I cannot discuss tactics, nor can I discuss intelligence with you. Yes, sir.
Did Janet Reno order this to proceed?
Question is, did the Attorney General Janet Reno order this to proceed? Again, my function has been as an on-scene commander along with 3 other commanders. Our plan was presented back to the Department of Justice through our operations center, and my understanding is that she was in full and complete accord with the plan. Yes, sir.
I wonder, you said that the tear gas mask had a limited life. Do you know what that life is?
The question is, what is the life of the tear gas mask? The problem that we have is it appears that we have a hodgepodge of different masks. We've had various descriptions regarding those masks. Some of those, we believe, could have a life of up to 8 hours. Some of those may be very poor masks and actually may provide them no relief at all. So there are a lot of faulty equipment that's dealt with in this market. Yeah, follow-up.
The follow-up is, are you inserting gas into the bunker, into the school bus, into the underground areas where you expect them?
Question is, have we put in gas in the bunkers and in the school bus? Yes, we did. What we tried to do was deprive them of the use of that as a means of escape away from the building. Yes, sir.
What's the status of Vernon Howell's Camaro?
His Camaro, with all 427 cubic inches, is still in good shape. He was very concerned about that yesterday. In fact, that was probably the most violent that he's acted in the 52 days, how many is it, 51, 52? 51 days that we've been here. But we treated it with care.
What do you do?
The Camaro has been towed away from the area. Yes, ma'am.
If you keep inserting gas all day today, is there a point when the gas builds up in there and does become lethal because of something?
Question is there a point where the gas builds up and does become lethal? Not in the dosage levels that we're using. That we're using extremely small dosage levels compared, I'm talking about centimeters. The dosage units are so low compared to when you would reach a lethal level. As well, the problem we had today, if you wanted to look at what problems we had, were actually the weather. You had tremendous winds that were blowing today, which has the effect of cleaning out the compound. So we do not have heavy concentrations. The air is not heavy enough. When the humidity starts to rise, when the heat starts to rise, the complex will become more and more uncomfortable. Yes, ma'am.
There were reports this morning that whenever the cult members do, if they do come out, that some of them will be transported to Fort Hood for processing. Is that true? And if so, who?
Question is, would perhaps people be transported to Fort Hood? I'm not aware of people going to Fort Hood. We have medical teams that are available. We have medical teams from Fort Hood as well as from other areas, and those resources were offered to us if in fact we had casualties that needed to be treated. Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to get tear gas either in the tower itself or Koresh's room?
Question is, are there any areas where we do not have the capability of putting in tear gas, and we can put in tear gas any portion of that building that we desire to do so?
Is there a plan to put it, again, in the watchtower where it's heavily armed and Koresh's room?
We have put tear gas into the watchtower. We have also put tear gas into what is commonly believed to be Koresh's room. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yes.
There's 3 Chinook helicopters out at TSCC apparently just arrived today. Can you confirm that and tell us why they're there or what purpose?
Question is, what is the purpose of the Chinooks? Again, that's part of our medical plan. We have a plan in effect that if in fact everyone was injured inside that compound, we had the capability to treat those people. So the Chinooks are there to ensure that if people need to be evacuated at a moment's notice, those helicopters are there to ensure that will take place.
And as far as the people who are inside, do you know how many have actually fired and are involved in the shooting at the FBI?
Pardon me?
Do you know how many people inside the compound are actually involved in the shooting?
Question is, how many people are involved in the shooting? There's no way to estimate that. I have been asked to reinforce that the CS gas is not lethal. I thought I'd done that. And again, I want to emphasize that this is not an assault by FBI agents. This is an assault on the compound using CS gas. We are not exposing any of our agents individually to firearms. The agents who have received fire, that fire has been directed at the CEVs and other vehicles. I have time for one more question. You got it this time?
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a piece of cloth or a banner, something seen, that was placed on the front doors shortly after y'all began knocking holes. What was that? Do you have any idea?
The question is, what was the banner on the front door? I think what happened was when they punched through the front door, you had drapes and so forth that were being blowing out.
That there was actually someone seen hanging something outside.
Okay. Question is, what was hanging out there by an arm? We believed at first that we had a white flag that was being waved by people inside. They were directed, if in fact that is a white flag, to come out and to surrender. The surrender never did take place. Thank you.